Hola chicas, so we're just going to have a look at the comprehension questions that I asked you to go on página 74. It was just these two comprehensions here. We had Zach and we had Freya. Okay, so I'm just going to run through las respuestas muy rápido. Okay, I'm just going to start off here. So the first one is how does Zach know Luke? So they live in the same house in the state. Okay, so I think that was one of the pieces of vocab I highlighted yesterday. Okay. Question B, what interests do Zach and Luke share? So that was film and music. So I think it was nos interesa la música y ver películas. What instrument does Zach play? So here we had the drums. Okay, the baterías. Okay. Why does Zach think Luke is such a good friend? He listens to him about his problems, and he can trust him. That was verb confiar en él. Okay. E. Why does Freya think her friends are particularly important in her life? So she said then that she's an only child and she doesn't really get on well with her family. Okay, she's an only child. I have Fred there was an only child and she doesn't get on well with her family. Okay. How long has she known Sarah? So that was the desde hace 6 años, for 6 years. How does Freya describe her personality? She's saying she's loyal, sincere, and generous. Okay. And what does Freya often borrow from Sarah? She borrows clothes and makeup. I forgot to highlight for that verb there. The verb to borrow is verb prestar. I forgot to highlight that there for yesterday. The verb prestar. That's that verb there. Prestar algo de alguien. To borrow something. The verb prestar. Okay, if you just want to make a note of that there. Okay, good job. Then on 2, you were looking just for the translations or the words in the text. Okay, so the first one we've got here is I've known him for 10 years. So this is, remember we saw the la for the girl. If it's a boy, it's going to be le. So le conozco desde hace 10 años. I've known him for 10 years. That's your desde hace there, 10 años. Okay. He lives in the same estate as me, so it's vive en la misma urbanización. Okay, he lives in the same. I couldn't fit in there. Misma urbanización. Okay. We have lots of things in common. So tenemos muchas cosas en común. Okay, perfect. So tenemos muchas cosas en común. Just hit your muchas cosas en común. Okay. We never fight because we're very alike. So here we go. Nunca nos peleamos porque somos muy parecidos. So nunca nos peleamos porque somos muy parecidos. We're very similar. We never fight because. Okay. This is one of the ones I asked you to highlight yesterday. So he is like a brother to me. Es como un hermano para mí. Es como un hermano para mí. He is like a brother to me. Okay. Here's another really nice sentence. Okay. There are 4 girls in our group. So somos una pandilla de 4 chicas. So that's right. Somos una pandilla de 4 chicas. Yeah, somos una pandilla de 4 chicas, and that's a nice one that you can use. Okay. G, when I feel stressed, so cuando estoy estresada me hace reír. So cuando estoy estresada, when I'm stressed, me hace reír. She makes me laugh, and we saw that he or she makes me laugh in el capítulo antes, the chapter beforehand. Me hace reír. Okay. H, she is supportive and she gives me advice. So es un apoyo. We saw that there. That comes from the verb apoyar, to support. So es un apoyo. She's a support. Y me da consejos. She gives me advice. Me da consejos. So that's the verb dar, to give. So me da consejos. She gives me advice. Okay. So that was hopefully they weren't too tricky for you. All right. The other thing I asked you to do was I asked you to have a look at the translations on the next page, but I will come to those in a second. What I'm going to get you to try tonight or today or whenever you get the chances, I'm going to ask you to have a look at the 2 listenings here. Okay, so Pilar y Gonzalo hablan sobre la amistad. So amistad here is friendship. Okay, so la amistad. So they talk about friendship. Escucha y contesta a las preguntas en inglés. So you're listening and answering the questions in English. Okay, so I'm going to send out these 2 tracks. on Google Classroom as well, so you'll get them. So you can just listen through them and try and answer them, okay? So we're just looking at, why does Pilar say her friends are so important to her? How long has she known? So that's gonna be like desde hace. That's gonna be your desde hace when you're listening to that, okay? Where did she meet her best friends or her mejor amigo or amiga? What qualities does Pilar think a friend should have? And why did Pilar fall out with her best friend? Last year is el año pasado. El año pasado. Okay, so that's your año pasado, okay? B, Gonzalo, so how does he describe his best friend? Okay, bastante bien. What interests does he have? So that could be like a nos interesa, what we like, yeah, and what do they have in common? We've seen that already up above. In what ways are they very different? Okay, so 4, what does Gonzalo think is the most important thing in friendships? That's going to be your amistad there, okay? And 5, why does Gonzalo find it difficult to make friends? Is that okay? So try those 2 listings. You can fill them in. I'll send there 2 tracks. I'm just going to attach them on Google Classroom as well, all right? The last thing I asked you to do was these translations here, okay? So I'm just going to run through it quickly here, okay? So I asked you to translate the first 3, okay? So here we've got Owen, so escucha el examen oral de Owen, so we're listening to Owen's oral exam, okay? So the first question is, ¿tienes un mejor amigo or una mejor amiga? So do you have a best male or female friend, okay? So he replies, somos 6 en mi pandilla, pero mi mejor amiga se llama Ruth. So there are 6 in my group. Pandilla is group, okay? Pero mi mejor amiga se llama Ruth. My best friend's called Ruth. Tiene 17 años, so she is 17 years old, como yo, like me. Estamos en la misma clase del instituto. So we estamos en la misma here, the same class at school. Y nuestros padres son muy buenos amigos. Our parents, so padres, are very good friends. That was the first one. Okay. 2. ¿Cómo es? Describe her. Es alta y morena. So she's tall and dark. Okay. Con el pelo negro, with dark hair y liso. So she has dark straight hair y los ojos marrones, brown eyes. Okay. Es de estatura media y tiene pecas en la cara. So she's average height. That's your average height there. Y tiene pecas. She has freckles on her face. This is a nice little phrase. Se parece mucho a su padre. So she looks like. So remember we said me parezco. Here we've got I look like. Here we've got se parece. So she looks like. Mucho a su madre, Linda. She really looks like her mom, Linda. Es una gemela. So she is a twin. Es una gemela. So gemelo for boy, una gemela as girl. Okay. Pero no me llevo muy bien con su hermano gemelo. Pero I don't get on well. No me llevo muy bien con su hermano. So I don't get on with her twin brother. Okay. Last little bit I asked you for tonight. Last night was la conozco. So here is saying la conoces desde hace mucho tiempo. So have you known her for? This is our desde hace again. Have you known her for a lot of time? Mucho tiempo. La conozco desde hace 13 años. So I've known her. So this is where we saw the lay for the boy, the la here. I've known her since or for 13 years. La conocí. So here we've got now our past tenses, and we're going to see more of this past tense in this chapter as we go on. There's a whole we've been revising the pretérito. We're looking at that simple past probably next week when we get round to it, right? So la conocí. So I met her por primera vez, and that's a lovely one you could use for your oral as well. I met her por primera vez en la escuela primaria, in primary school, okay? Siempre ha estado en la misma clase que yo. So she has always been in the same class as me. Y queremos. Now this is queremos. This is a verb we want. So queremos ir. We want to go a la misma universidad el año que viene. We want to go to the same university next year. El año que viene, next year. Is that okay? So there's some nice vocab, especially to say parece. So we had me parece. We saw on our oral me parezco mucho a mi madre. I look like, and here's the third person say parece mucho. So we've seen the third person of that was really nice. And this tense here you can use for your oral. La conocí por primera. I met her. Or if that was him, le conocí. I met him. All right. So we'll be looking at that hopefully for our oral in a few weeks' time, okay? What I want you to try for tonight is I want you to try two things for tonight. So the first thing, I'm just going to flick the page back here. I want you to try this listing again. I'm going to send you out the tracks, the Pilar y Gonzalo. I want you to send you out those two, okay? That Pilar and Gonzalo, all right? Second thing I want you to do is I just want you to finish off these translations, okay? So we've had a look at the first three. I want you to try ¿Qué tipo de persona es? You're going to translate that. Tienes muchos intereses en común, so just translate as well. Do you have lots of interests in common? And ¿qué os gusta hacer los fines de semana? What do you like to do at the weekend? So try uno, dos, tres, those three here, okay? You're going to translate those three, and the listing here, this listing, I'll send you out the two tracks, all right? Just as well for tomorrow, we're going to try and do, I'm hoping to try and do like a live class tomorrow, just we'll go through the translations and that, just to show you here on Google Classroom. I'll send you out the link for doing a live class as well, but I just want to show you on here on the class. If you look into your Google Classroom, I hope I'm right. If you look under here, if you see here, if you just, instead of sending out the link, if you just go onto your Google Classroom, the 5th year Spanish one I've set up, and if you go beneath the class code, if you just click on this meet link here, it'll take you straight into a meeting. So I don't even need to email it out to you. So that just takes you to the meeting there with the class, all right? So if you just go in here, whenever we're going to meet, if you just click on the link here, and that should take you straight into the meeting with me and the rest of the class. Is that okay? So that's our meet link as well. I might email one out as well, but that's a really handy way there to have the handy way to meet. If you just go into the Google Classroom, click on 5th year Spanish, and you just click on this meet link here. Is that okay? Muchas gracias, chicas, and we will habla pronto.